Section 2. Engine propulsion type and parameters. Nuclear fusion versus antimatter. As humanity ventures toward the stars, one of the most critical decisions for interstellar exploration is the selection of an appropriate propulsion system. The immense distances involved, combined with the need for both crew safety and efficient fuel use, demand advanced propulsion technologies that can operate at significant fraction of the speed of light. In the next 2 centuries, the most likely contenders for this role are nuclear fusion and antimatter engines. These propulsion systems offer theoretical capabilities to propel spacecraft to high velocities, but each has its own set of challenges and limitations. Nuclear fusion propulsion. Nuclear fusion, the process that powers the stars, holds promise as a viable propulsion system for interstellar missions. In fusion, light atomic nuclei, typically isotopes of hydrogen, such as deuterium and tritium, fuse together to form heavier elements, releasing an enormous amount of energy. On Earth, replicating the extreme conditions of pressure and temperature necessary for fusion is a considerable challenge, but various experimental reactors are moving closer to achieving sustained fusion reactions. In the context of interstellar propulsion, nuclear fusion engines would rely on this principle to generate thrust. The fuel for such engines could be abundant, as deuterium, one of the main fuels for the fusion reactions, is found in water, and tritium can be bred from lithium. Fusion-powered spacecraft could in theory achieve velocities up to 0.1 c, so 10% of speed of light, or slightly higher. One of the proposed concepts for nuclear fusion propulsion is direct fusion drive, in which fusion reactors occur within defined magnetic or inertial confinement systems. This would generate high-energy charged particles which would then be expelled out of a nozzle to produce thrust. Another possibility is the fusion rocket, where the fusion energy is to heat a propellant that is then expelled for thrust. So advantages of nuclear fusion. Abundant fuel. So fusion fuels are more abundant and easier to extract than fission fuels that can be sourced from water or lithium. High efficiency. Fusion offers a high energy density compared to chemical propulsion, meaning spacecraft could carry less fuel for longer journeys. Less radiation. Unlike fission, fusion reactors produce less hazardous radiation, making it a safer long-term option for crewed missions. Now about disadvantages of nuclear fusion. So technological challenges. Achieving controlled sustained fusion reactions at a scale suitable for propulsion is still in the experimental stages. The International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor project is a major step toward demonstrating controlled fusion, but it is not yet capable of generating more power than it consumes. So it consumes more power than it generates. And then limited speed. Even with most advanced fusion reactors, speeds beyond 0.3 c, so 30% of speed of light, is uh, unlikely in the foreseeable future. Now, the another option is, as we said, antimatter propulsion. Antimatter propulsion presents a more exotic and powerful method for interstellar travel. When antimatter comes into contact with matter, both are annihilated, releasing an enormous amount of energy. According to Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, so the energy released from even tiny amounts of antimatter is extraordinarily high, which makes antimatter a potential first source for interstellar missions. Theoretically, antimatter-based propulsion could enable spacecraft to achieve speeds approaching the speed of light. So imagine, close to speed of light, making it the most promising candidate for achieving highest velocities. The most well-known concept for antimatter propulsion is the antimatter rocket, in which antimatter such as positrons or antiprotons is is introduced into a containment system where it annihilates with regular matter, creating high energy particles that can be directed out of spacecraft's exhaust nozzle. The energy released from these annihilations would provide propulsion, while antimatter drives could potentially achieve up to zero point 0.9 C or even 0.99 C. Significant technological advancements would be required to make it a reality. Advantages of antimatter. So thing number one, extremely high efficiency. Antimatter reactions release orders of magnitude more energy than any other known fuel source, including nuclear fusion. Second, potential for high speeds. So theoretically, antimatter propulsion could allow spacecraft to travel at velocities approaching the speed of light. So almost very close speed of light, vastly reducing travel times to distant stars. Now let's talk about disadvantages of antimatter. Production of antimatter is extremely difficult and expensive to produce. So as of today, antimatter production is minuscule and requires immense amount of energy. The cost of producing antimatter for even a small mission would be just astronomical. Storage and containment. Antimatter cannot be stored directly in normal containers as it would annihilate upon contact with metal. So when it goes with regular metal, whatever the container is, it will annihilate and explode in a reaction. Advanced magnetic or electromagnetic traps are required to contain antimatter, which represents significant engineering challenges. And then, of course, safety concerns. The annihilation of antimatter with metal releases vast amounts of energy in the form of radiation, making antimatter-based propulsion a hazardous proposition. So if you compare nuclear fusion and antimatter propulsion, uh, that's how it looks like energy density. So antimatter propulsion is obviously much denser, like extremely high. It is like from 1 billion to 1 trillion megajoules per kilogram, whenever nuclear fusion is just a couple of million megajoules per kilogram. Maximum speed for nuclear fusion is like just 0.1 C to 0.3 C, like 10 to 30% of speed of light, as we said. Whenever with antimatter propulsion is from 90% to 99% of speed of light and even further. Technological readiness. Nuclear fusion, as far as I know, based on all of the information, all of the research and calculations I have made, is like something next 20 to 50 years, at least at the end of the century. Whenever antimatter propulsion is conceptual stages, not yet feasible, nothing even close. Fuel availability, so nuclear fusion is abundant, so achievable. We can harvest it from water and lithium. Whenever antimatter is like extremely rare and requires like massive energy to get it. And when it comes to safety, again, nuclear fusion is safer, and antimatter is highly dangerous, and cost is high for nuclear fusion, but probably manageable. And for antimatter propulsion, it's so complicated and it's so conceptual state that we don't even know, like incredibly expensive probably and unfeasible at present. So while antimatter propulsion has an immense theoretical potential, the technology required to produce, store, and utilize antimatter effectively remains far beyond our current capabilities. As of now, producing even milligrams of antimatter takes enormous amounts of energy and resources. Current antimatter production is limited to experimental particle accelerators, which only produce tiny amounts of antimatter for short-lived interactions. So it's just like almost theoretical. For antimatter propulsion to become feasible within the next 2 centuries, significant breakthroughs would be required in several areas: efficient antimatter production, cost reduction, storage technologies, safety protocols. While this is theoretically possible, it is unlikely that antimatter engines will be ready for uh, deployment by the early 2200. So it is more reasonable to expect nuclear fusion propulsion to be more immediate option for crewed interstellar missions. So for the first interstellar mission, a nuclear fusion engine seems to be the most realistic and achievable option within the next 2 centuries. The technical challenges of antimatter are insurmountable in the short term, while fusion propulsion holds the promise of feasible speeds and energy output within generation of or two of development. Given the substantial progress being made in fusion research, it is conceivable that nuclear fusion propulsion could be a key technology for interstellar exploration in the coming centuries.